Welcome to the Gunners' Nest, your ultimate source for all things Arsenal. The 2024/2025 pre-season tour of the US came to an end as Arsenal lost as a 2-1 game against Liverpool at the Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, as Kai Havertz scored a consolation goal late in the first half. Arsenal took on Bournemouth and Manchester United earlier on the tour in California, and the game against Bournemouth at the Dignity Health Sport Park ended in a 1-1 draw, as Fabio Vieira scored the only goal in the game and the first goal of our pre-season tour, and with a relatively young squad playing in the game. Martin Odegaard, Alexis Zinchenko, Jorginho, Gabriel Jesus and Jakub Kiwior all hit the back of the net with their penalties, as Leandro Trossard hit the post with his shot, but the two saves from young goalkeeper Karl Hein was enough to secure a 5-4 win the penalty shootout. Kai Havertz, Gabriel Magalhaes and Martinelli returned to pre-season helped Arsenal to 2-1 victory over Manchester United at the SoFi Stadium, with goal from Jesus and Martinelli, who scored the 81st minute winner from the bench upon his arrival from the Copa America and holidays, but misses from Kai Havertz and Jakub Kiwior saw Arsenal lost the penalties by 3-4. The Gunners flew back to London, where they are set to face Leverkusen in the clash of the Invincibles friendly, which will mark the return of the former Arsenal captain Granit Xhaka and Lyon in the Emirates Cup, where the Gunners will be up against former players in Alexander Lacazette and Ainsley Maitland-Niles, all games at the Emirates Stadium, as the finial barrage of players on international duty have arrived and joined up with the squad this weekend to get themselves prepared for the season ahead. This include the English players Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice and Aaron Ramsdale, and Spaniard goalkeeper David Raya and French centre-back William Saliba. Let's take a look at 3 things we learned from Arsenal's pre-season tour of the US. 1. Haaland is cooking. The end of the season saw the return of Euros and the Copa America, and this meant 13 of the first-team players, including the likes some key players including Bukayo Saka, William Saliba and Declan Rice, and both first-team goalkeepers David Raya and Aaron Ramsdale, were not available for the pre-season tour if they got to the semi-finals of their respective competitions. But the Haaland Academy was up for the rescue again, as 12 young players got the opportunity to travel with the first team to gain some experience. The young goalkeeper Karl Hein was in goal for all the games in the US and made some impressive saves, which will see him earn himself a good loan spell this summer. 8 years old Joshua Nichols looked very promising, and also 17 years Miles Lewis Skelly and 20 years old Salaredi Nuland also put in very impressive shifts at left back and in the midfield left parenthesis respectfully, which will do them lots of good for their time at the club. The star of the show though was 17 years old Ethan Nwaneri, who assisted Jesus' goal against United and played with such confidence, which will see him get some more minutes in the Premier League this season. 2. Big season ahead for some first-team players. Players including Gabriel Jesus, Fabio Vieira, Thomas Partey and Zinchenko had underwhelming campaign last season, as they suffered season-defining injuries which lead to poor and some inconsistent performances upon their return. These players however looked in good physical shape as they set to put these injuries behind them and have good performance this upcoming season. Gabriel Jesus and Fabio Vieira came out 2 of the winners of the pre-season out this 4 players. Jesus is the outstanding player, as they put up encouraging performances, whereas Thomas Partey and Zinchenko looked a bit off pace, but hopefully they can catch up with the team in the 2 remaining games of the pre-season. The futures of these players at the club most likely rely on their performances this season. Hopefully they are able to have a good season and help the Arsenal to some silverware. The third and final thing we picked from the pre-season tour of the US is that a wide attacking player or striker is needed for the season. The future of Eddie Nketiah and Rice Nelson still remain uncertain after the exit of Smith Rowe last, and this leaves the depth of the squad weaker than it already is. It was obvious from the pre-season games that Fabio Vieira cannot produce what Bukayo Saka produces on the right side of our attack, and Saka needs someone to share the workload with. Reports are still linking Nico Williams to Arsenal, but it is likely not going to happen. Wolves' Pedro Neto, Brighton's Joao Pedro and Bayern's Leroy Sane, who are also linked with the club, looks like an amazing options. Mohamed Kudus of West Ham has also been identified by the Gunners' Nest as a capable candidate for the position. Gabriel Jesus can also be shifted to the right to do a job, but a striker will be needed to complement Kai Havertz up to. Victor Osimhen, Julian Alvarez and Dominic Solanke among other strikers are reportedly linked with Arsenal in recent days. Let's see what happens in the days to come. That's all for the 3 things we learnt on the Arsenal pre-season tour of the US. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe to Gunners' Nest for all the latest update. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. Thanks for watching. Come on you Gunners.